seeing as how these claws are adamantium, you gotta ask yourself, do I feel lucky?
Okay, look at YouTube family. Thank you so much once again for stopping by today for another episode. Today I bring to you Mondo X-Men animated series Wolverine. This is the one from the animated series, original 92s. Cause this is the one that I grew up watching. So this is the one that I'm gonna bring to you. And I'm excited. My wife is probably listening to me and thinking, who the heck did I just married? But it's okay, because I love her. But anyway, this is about Wolverine. But before that, let me show you this cool little thing. Once you open up the flap and you see the amazing, beautiful figure right there, you also get a little bio. Just know that it is because of these wonderful people that we were able to have this amazing animated series back in the days in the 90s. So thank you guys. And also, I would like to give a quick little shout out to Hero Fam and John Uzman, because y'all have been keeping it real. You guys understand there's a difference between the 97 and the 92. It's in the art, it's in the paint job. You understand? This is a major thing for us, you know? So Mondo, if y'all ever come across this video, please, we beg you to lean a little bit more towards the actual classic. I'm excited. So, let's get this man open and out of the box. Pun intended. Alright, so starting off from the top as always, looking at the face scope here. This dude is sculpted throughout. His eyes are sculpted in. His mouth is sculpted in. He has that strong crimson chin that's sculpted and nicely shaped. This part right here looks like is a separated part where the insert of this plate was at. And then as we go all around, you see his back of his head. He got a little scuff there, but that's cool. You can see the elongated Wolverine, Batman going on. I don't know if y'all seen that meme, but anyways. Nice little scope. You can see the mouth area there has the animated lines, and on this side he also has that animated shading there. Then going down to his body, we can see more animated lines. That is awesome to me, you know, the artistic of it. Looks clean for the most part. It pops at you. You can see black lines that he has on the side and on the top here. Nice and clean. And that's the back of Wolverine. This part right here, the blue part, I wish it did go around, but I'm gonna see if there's a way for me to maybe heat it up, see what the shape looks like, and see if I could create something to where it can actually articulate with the arm. It does kind of limit a little bit, but we'll talk about that later. But that blue right here has three different types of blue. It has a lighter, then kind of like a mid, and then it goes into a darker blue, as you can see there. And that does go all around as well. You can see it back here as well. And looking at his arms, so you can see, if I'm not mistaken, Wolverine was the first one in the line created. I could be wrong, correct me in the comment section if I am wrong, but that's why you see the engineering here is a little funky looking. They have the upper part, then they have like the cut out elbow piece there. It just swivels around, and then the underneath the elbow part here, that's where you'll see that it articulates. But anyways, you can see they created some lines there for his arms, because we all know Wolverine is a pretty hairy man. And one thing to notate, this side right here does not have that shading that you see on this side. And now down to his glove, you can see it does have some more animated lines, which you'll see throughout the figure. Claws, this is how they came out of packaging. These are sculpted lines on here. You can see the X here, which is sculpted, nicely done. Now this is all one piece, and it is like, it kind of feels like a softer rubbery part, and then underneath has like a hard plastic to it. So you can see the consistency of the blue and the shading, similar to the animated cartoon. Down to the legs, you can see the yellow. We can see some of the lines to where the muscular features of the legs are at. darker yellow, and then transitions over to a lighter yellow. For his boots, nicely done as well, very accurate. The only thing is that these kind of like whoop, you know what I mean, it kind of does like that whoop. I don't know if that is actually accurate. Maybe it was from the clamshell that he just came out of that causes that, but I'm gonna warm it up and see if I can fix that and see what's up. But this is sculpted all throughout, and even the sole of the boots there are sculpted, and also the back here is sculpted. But you can see the lighter blue there, kind of giving it that little line, then the darker blue on that side, and here we'll see the opposite. And that's the bottom of the shoes. Shout out to Marvel, made in China. For articulation, starting at the top, he can look all around. He can look a little tiny bit up. So I don't know why they did it like that, but yeah, he can look a little bit up, and he could look slightly better down than what he can looking up. He does have a little bit of head tilt as well, just a little bit, Arms, he can pose, he can do the T pose or the Jordan pose if you want to say. Can do a 360. If you hear all of those squeaky sound, he is brand new. I haven't run him under water or nothing like that, under hot water. Maybe I should have, but you know, the excitement, you know. But he can do a 360, but it'll go to the out like that because this part was glued onto the body. He doesn't have no swivel, so butt cheeks, but he does have about 90-degree angle there with the elbow, and he does do this. For the torso area, he does a 360, but you want to be careful because you don't want to scratch the inside. But he can kind of lean a little bit over to the sides there, and then he goes back about that much. Oh, I'm sorry, his hand is in the way. He go back about that much, but then he got a little gap there, just a little tiny gap, but you can see a little bit more here. And then forward, he goes forward, not really that much forward movement. Here, he only has a cut, so he just goes around. For the legs, he can kick forward about that much. He can do the split. He does have thigh swivel, bending at the knees. It's pretty good, good enough for me. You know, good enough for me. And he does have a little bit of movement down here. Maybe after I run him down, it'll probably release a little bit more. He'll have more movement. But the actual inside here, I don't believe it does move. Yeah, I don't think it does move, but maybe somewhere around here it can swivel a little bit more. Then going down to the boots, there's no cuts here. On the boot, he does that. Look it down, the Michael Jackson. And then forward, he doesn't really point his leg up or his foot up, but he does have some good ankle rockers there. So let's see, I don't know, let's see what we could do with the pictures at the end. So just make sure you stay tuned for that. For accessory, Wolverine does come with this regular face. He just looks more like stern, like, I don't believe you, pal. Or he doesn't say pal, he says bub. I don't believe you, bub. But yeah, he has this face sculpt, which again, you can see that this part was actually sculpted, separated, and then attached to it. I could be wrong, but it looks like it. Like if you just look at the details, it looks like it definitely did, which I'm not complaining. I like it. And you can see the joint is like slick and smooth. That's the back of his head. And then you can see some shading there. Pretty nice, pretty nice. I like it because of the, yeah. Up next, we do have his unmasked face, which looks a little funky. It does look funny, I ain't gonna lie, look at that. Like, what's wrong with that eyeball? Looking somewhere else. But anyways, I do think that this is pretty cool because it does capture the animated look for sure. It looks much better in person, to be honest with you. And there's the back of his head, well, his hair. But here he's kind of just like kind of look like that, you know. But this looks nice. It looks nice. He has the little kind of like a, I don't know what kind of blue this is, but then it transitions over to like a lighter blue here at the ends, well, on this end. And you kind of see the same thing on the beard a little bit there. But yeah, this looks nice. See that chin, that nose, the eyebrows, the hair on the eyebrows here is actually sculpted, so that's pretty nice. And then he does have that little bit of a little Superman swirl going on there, you know. But yeah, nice little head sculpt. And as a bonus head sculpt, not bonus, but a head sculpt that comes with him is Morph, the regular one. Which, to be honest with you, I feel like they could have given Morph a little bit more love, you know, because this does look a little bit bland. Like in person, it looks a little bit bland, you know. But I'm glad that we definitely got it. Here in the hair, you can see that, I don't know if you can see on the light, but you got like the dark and then a little bit lighter black paint on the side here, and then this side is just dark. So that was a nice little neat touch. And then we can see a little bit of that shading on there. His eyebrow is sculpted. I just feel like, I don't know, they could have just, I know he was only present for a couple episodes, but they could have given him, at least this face sculpt, they could have given it, I don't know, just a little bit more pop to it, you know. Like for example, this one, we can see that he has some lines, the animated lines going throughout his face, and you know, he got like a little bit of definition. You can see around the mouth area there, where you can see like the cheekbone area kind of popping up a little bit, you know. The lip here is sculpted, you know, chin area, you know. But here I feel like they just molded the face but didn't emphasize a lot of the actual facial feature. Now that could be because of the way that the artist drew him maybe, and Mondo was just trying to capture that specific look of the drawing. But I'm just saying, the face could have probably been a little bit better. But let's see if Mondo does release a 92 version, or at least one that's leaning a little bit more towards the 92 version. But we'll see, we'll see. But yeah, and then the hair here is just coming out. I like that, you know. At least they did that, you know. They didn't just flat out just do it. This actually pops out, so I appreciate that for sure. And I just appreciate having this head sculpt in general. So thank you, Mondo. Thank you. Wolverine does come with this. If y'all remember the episode where he was rescuing the team and he went into the building.
Turkey.
This is what that is. It's pretty neat, pretty neat. And he does come with this portrait and this little picture frame. It's pretty neat. And guess who's there? Cyclops and Jean. And this does slide out, which is pretty cool. And when it does slide out, you can see it's like this little oh, look at that. You could actually, oh, that's pretty, okay, that's pretty dope. You could change that, you could change that out. You could just put a picture of yourself there or something. But yeah, no, he does comes with this. This is pretty cool. This is a really cool touch. This is pretty cool. Pretty cool. But yeah, you got Cyclops and Jean there. Nice stuff, nice stuff. As y'all know, the well, yeah, by now y'all probably do know, They did release this version of Wolverine when he's laid out on the bed and he has this in his hand. They released that version, and it does have an exclusive sad face. So if y'all want the sad Wolverine, y'all could definitely cop that. If not, you can just go with this one. This one's pretty neat, yeah. And now for the hands, it does comes with these open hands. You can see the paint job is different there. Paint job is different, and you can see the holes where the claws go. So guess what? You could definitely interchange these. The other one just fell out of my hand as I was lifting it up. But yeah, you could definitely interchange these, and you just pop them in. Once you pop those bad boys in, they will definitely stay there. But yeah, so you could definitely do that. Keep that in mind. Other hands that he do come with is these. He does come with this one as well. This is the bang bang, or maybe dig in your nose hand. The opening scene hand. His hands are fisted. Those little spiky things at the end. And that's where the claw plugs in. But these are in there for sure. It looks like they glued those Jones in, built in or something like that. But yeah, it does have that. It does have that. And he just had all these little squiggly lines. But yeah, it does come with these. Wolverine also comes with a stand. This is their older stand. Now they're coming out with the X-Men logo ones. Man, it'll be so cool if they just allow us to purchase those individually. That'll be really cool. But yeah, he does comes with this stand. This part is a little different. It looks like these purposely intercross like that. Never seen it like that before, but we'll see how that looks like. But what you gotta do, plain and simple, plug it in, and you have the stand there. What I like about the older version is that they do have this little thing. So if you do have them on a painted surface, and instead of dragging it or something, you kind of slide them a little bit. Maybe not. Maybe this will make it a little harder to move in the paint. But anyways, the point is, I think that's a cool little touch that they did with the older stands. But yeah, he does come with a stand. That's a wrap up for my review on Mondo's X-Men the Animated Series Wolverine. Real quick, let me show you how it is. I do have a few of those guys, so I'm excited. I'm excited to add them onto the collection. Now, this dude, yes, he is one of Mondo's first releases. He is a little bit limited with his articulation. However, you could definitely pose this dude and do a couple nice shots with him. Like this one right here. If you really, I don't know if the camera itself is capturing it, but if you get him at a nice little angle, he's telling you, come here, bub. I am going to chop you up with my claws. Alright, and he's grinning at you too. Now, one thing I wish that they would have definitely added on for him, because they gave us a unmasked head sculpt, it only makes sense if they would have included the mask kind of going backwards. That would have been nice to have. They could have also added a face sculpt with his mouth open in an angry rawr type of way. But I just want to share with y'all the Bible verse for today, reminiscent to the cartoons when Nightcrawler spoke to Wolverine. Wolverine later on reading the book of Isaiah, chapter 12, 1-2. But because it's such a short chapter, we're gonna read the whole thing. Alright, we're gonna read the whole thing. It says, "You will say on that day, I will give thanks to you, O Lord. For though you were angry with me, your anger turned away, and you comforted me. Surely God is my salvation. I will trust and will not be afraid. For the Lord is my strength and my might. He has become my salvation. With joy you will draw water from the wells of salvation. And you will say on that day, give thanks to the Lord, call on his name, make known his deeds among the nations, proclaim that his name is exalted. Sing praises to the Lord, for he has done gloriously. Let this be known in all the earth. Shout aloud and sing for joy, O royal Zion, for great in your midst is the Holy One of Israel. Amen. 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 I appreciate you guys, and I hope that you guys definitely enjoyed this review. Hope it's a little different take for you, and thank you. I really appreciate y'all taking the time out. With that being said, y'all stay blessed, and thank you. Thank you very much. Peace out. Peace out.
Give thanks to you, O Lord, for though you were angry with me, your anger turned away and you comforted me. I will trust and will not be afraid.